To my Monday Night Raw. What are we getting this Raw? This is a question I believe the Slug Daddy had said. Is the WWE going to continually give us really great content, or are they going to shit on their pay-per-views now? Because it's not like it's $70 or $80. Now you can get these pay-per-views for $9.99. So the question is going to be, are they going to continually give good content on their regular shows? And are they going to give us good shows, period? I don't know yet. This Raw was not a bad Raw. But it's a big question mark of what's going to happen in the next 3 some odd weeks to 4 weeks before the WrestleMania 30 comes out. And I'm going straight to him right now. There ain't no way I'm not going to do it. It is time to talk about the almighty Hulkster, baby. Ooh. You! I can't help it. Well, let me tell you something, brother. I am a true Hulkamaniac. I saw the original Hulk Hogan in the original WrestleMania in my home when I was only 13 years old, baby. I was 13 when I first saw it, and I said, is that how real wrestlers are? And my father didn't really say a damn thing. It was Mean Gene Okerlund who said it on the screen. I say these wrestlers are phenomenal. It's kind of time when I was real young, I wish my father had actually had the brains to say, hey, this is great, isn't it, my son? No, he just watched it and kept his fucking mouth shut. Didn't give a fuck. But I still love WrestleMania. I still love the Hulkster, and I'm glad to see him there. Compared to TNA, it's much better to have him in WWE. For the simple fact, he's not in control of creative. He's not. He may contribute to creative, we already know this, but he won't have a huge say in it. Unless they really want him to have a huge say in it. We don't know if he's going to go beyond WrestleMania. He may. You never know. He may stay in WWE for a couple of months before he shoots back to TNA again. But seeing him was great. And hearing that he's the one that's going to host WrestleMania 30 gives me the question, how is he going to host? Are they going to let him be seen a lot or a little bit? That's going to be a question. Now I'm just going to go through these matches, which... seeing refreshes of the same matches does not make me interested. But it does come to some sense. Now when it comes to Sheamus and it comes to Christian, I knew they were going to have a feud. And they had a very physical match. It was pretty damn good. But now what? I'm hoping there'll be something more to this. Because it's not enough right now. If they did a rivalry against Canada and Ireland, I tell you now, people would be interested in it. Just covering Sheamus versus Christian is not much. But if they have a rivalry saying that Canadians are nothing compared to Irishmen, may actually give us something new. Which I don't think is going to happen though. Now, the next match, I did not like it. Batista versus ADR, another repeat. But it was worse this time than it was at Elimination Chamber. Batista was tanking. He was not doing good. And I believe the Slug Daddy was right. He has really got some bad ring rust. But when you see him on Raw, he's worse. What the fuck, man? And the crowd still are not interested in Batista. Batista's not being a heel. He's supposed to be acting as a face. At least that's what I'm getting from it. And it ain't working. They need to turn this boy heel. After WrestleMania, he need to go heel. He need to become full heel. He need to be evil. He kind of reminded me of John Cena the way he talked with the in-ring segment after ADR beat his ass because of Randy Orton. He sounded like, I don't really care. Let them say whatever they want. No, you're not John Cena, Batista. You're better in that case of John Cena. John Cena has forced this is why I get upset. Look, John Cena has forced the fans to be split. Along with the bosses in the back. The brass in the back made that decision along with John. He doesn't want to become heel again. He only wants to stay face. And the bosses have done everything they can to make him look good. So that's the reason why he's got the split. But you're not John Cena, Batista. What the hell are you doing? Do not stay face and say, I don't care how these people chant. They can chant whatever they want because I can do the same thing. Come on. It's dumb. And they need to turn him heel fast after WrestleMania 30. They need to change him. Now, the match I knew that had to finally happen. And the outcome. Antonio versus Biggie Langston. And Antonio loses the match. It wasn't a bad match. It was also a very physical match like Sheamus and Christian. But when Jack Swagger got involved, put the Patriot lock on Biggie Langston, I knew then, finally, WWE believes that Jack Swagger and Cesaro need to finally begin to break up. I'm hoping they'll turn Cesaro face. And I'm hoping Zed will go with him. I'm sure many people say, no, I don't want to see Zed with Antonio. No, leave him alone. He needs him. Zed Coulter could play a very good heel. But I believe he also can play a very good face. We need something more patriotic. The people want to chant, we the people. And I'm one of 5 of them. And I'm telling you, Zed will make it work. He can. And I'm glad to see this. Also a match I'm glad to see. The Usos versus the New Age Outlaws again. They had to give them a win. If they are doing what I believe they're going to do at WrestleMania 30, I'm hoping with everything in me they're going to do this. You needed this match. Of course, we're going to probably see Cody Rhodes and Goldust face the New Age Outlaws, and I believe they'll beat them as well. And it could turn into a triple threat tag team match at WrestleMania 30. But if I'm right, and I hope I'm right, the Usos will be given their WrestleMania moment. They have worked for years, and this is what they're going to get. And I've said this, I'm going to keep saying it until they win this match. It doesn't matter if they're charismatic enough for you. Doesn't matter if they look the biggest and the muscleless, big and muscular, or super high flying. These guys are the oldest teams they have. Other than the New Age Outlaws, the Usos are the oldest team that's in the WWE. It is. In the old Attitude Era, New Age Outlaws beat everybody. But we're in the modern era. We're in the PG era. Pretty much, the Usos are it. So I'm hoping they'll get the WrestleMania moment. This is what I want to see. Now, when it comes to Daniel Bryan and Kane, this match really made no sense. For me personally. There's no real conflict here. There isn't. Of course, this is because of Triple H. Triple H has sicked his dog, which is Kane, to go and do his business. And the reason I don't want to see Kane in this position anymore. I want to see him go back to the monster. Because even though this is a change-up for him, and it's a nice change-up, it's played out its course by now. I believe it's time for Kane to give up being with Triple H and become the old Red Monster Kane. Because for me personally, I feel like he's losing something in this character. Particularly that even though people are trying to say, oh, they had the rivalries before, Daniel Bryan and Kane, but it's not working here for me. He's doing the business that Triple H needs to be done, and I understand that. Triple H and Daniel Bryan are going to have that match, and I said this many, many months ago that this was going to happen. But I'm hoping they'll bring Kane out of this position because I really believe this position is bringing Kane down. I really do. You guys tell me below if you believe Kane should stay in this position any longer than he should. Now, Cena versus the Wyatts. I've already said this before. I said this before Elimination Chamber, and I said this afterward. And now I'm saying it now. John Cena dealing with the Wyatts is very nerve-wracking for me. I'm worried for the simple fact if they leave John Cena with the Wyatts or Bray Wyatt too long, he will destroy them. You may not like the Nexus in 2010, but you had new guys that came on the scene. Yes, they weren't all good, but the point is that they stuck with John Cena too long and they destroyed themselves. Look at what happened with Wade Barrett as Bad New Barrett is bullshit. The guy has size. The guy can talk. He has the ability to work well in the ring. And he deserves better than this. And he's bullshit right now. Ryback was another one. Of course, he got hurt beforehand, but look what happened when he dealt with John Cena. I don't hate John Cena entirely, but when the brass in the back needs someone for John Cena to deal with, they'll stick with them for too long and destroy those characters just for John. And I find that wrong. Now, what else we got here? Seeing the, I believe they were called the Soul Patrol. Oh man. Rock's dad and Tony Atlas. I always remember Tony Atlas, and he was cool to me. I didn't really see the Rock's dad much, Rocky Johnson, but I do remember seeing Tony Atlas. And seeing a man going like this, and they're still showing respect to Black History Month, is very nice to see. And I'm glad also Tony did get his Hall of Fame ring as well. He deserved it. But my question is, who is next to go in the Hall of Fame? We have Lita, we have the Ultimate Warrior, and Jake the Snake Roberts. Now, if there was somebody else... No. I mean, Lita was the one who was spoken in this, I believe, in this Raw. If I'm wrong, you guys tell me below. But who is next? Who do you believe should be next? I'm curious to see that. And finally, the match I want to talk about will be Bray Wyatt versus Roman Reigns. And the segments beforehand felt a little weak when it came to Dean Ambrose trying to explain himself to Seth and Roman. But it's understood it's needed to try and break the Shield up. But that's if they're doing it. And I don't feel that here. This should be done after the final match at WrestleMania is done. And then break these guys apart. Of course, they need some information as backstory. But they just... the teasing just doesn't feel right to me for the Shield. But when Bray Wyatt came out, after the guys beat it, and say, I want to... basically, let's have a fight. I was in for that. Two of the most over guys so far in the business. The newest. It's good to see them get the main event. And they got the main event. And they did a good-ass job. Then the free-fall with the remaining members of the Wyatt and the Shield. In the end, it is Dean Ambrose who ruins it for Roman Reigns. But do I believe that's good or not? It wasn't that bad. So I'm kind of hoping they'll do something with this, but I don't think so. I just believe that kind of splitting the Wyatts between John Cena and the Shield, and it's going to bring down the storylines completely for me personally. Now the last thing I'm going to talk about is the Undertaker. Now a lot of people wondering who he's going to go up against, and I said this many months ago, we don't want to see Triple H against the Undertaker. Why not throw the Undertaker with The Rock? Or the Undertaker with Brock Lesnar. And this is what we get. I had to take a check to make sure that Brock has ever faced the Undertaker at WrestleMania, and he has not. So this will be a fresh fight for us. I am actually very interested in seeing this. Now the question is going to be, are they going to structure this very, very well after this? The Undertaker's already signed the contract along with Brock, and drink, acting like a bitch, a UFC fighter acting like a bitch. But it's understood it was done. But I can say this, the show wasn't that bad, but this is a big question, and like I said before in the beginning of this review, the Slag Daddy, and I'm sure Mr. Park and the NJ have come up with similar ideas. The WWE having this network, getting $9.99 a month content to the masses. It's going to be a question if they're going to keep giving very good quality. If the shows are crap, the WWE made the most worst mistake on the planet, because if no one goes for the $9.99, it ain't going to happen. So I hope you enjoyed the Zane view. Give me a comment below how you feel, and I will be getting my Impact review out as soon as possible. Have a good day.